So today I want to talk about rhesus factor and childbearing. Rhesus factor is something that is, as I consider, as important as blood group when it comes to two people deciding to get married. But I wouldn't know why blood group is so much talked about, is so much concentrated on. When you go to hospital, when you're about to get married, everybody is advising that you go to hospital and check your blood group. Even the church won't wed you without seeing that you have gone to hospital to check your blood group to see if your blood group is okay, so you don't have SS children. Yes, this is very important because nobody wants to bring out children to this earth to come and start suffering. But as important as blood group is, rhesus factor is also very important. It's also as important as blood group is. But I don't know why it is not being talked about. I'm here today to enlighten us a bit concerning rhesus factor and childbearing. So, what is rhesus factor? Rhesus factor is a kind of protein that is seen on the surface of someone's blood cell. It is a protein. So you either have it or you don't have it. There are more people that have rhesus factor than people that don't have it. Like a lot of people has it, but few people don't have it. So when you have it, you are said to be rhesus positive. But when you don't have this protein, you are said to be rhesus negative. Now, if you check your blood group, you are either O positive or B negative, or that sign that is on your blood group. Either you are O positive, you are rhesus positive. You're B negative, you're rhesus negative. You're B positive, you're rhesus positive. So check your blood group. There is a sign. There's always a sign on it, either positive or negative. That is your rhesus factor. So know it today. Just if you know your blood group, just know your rhesus factor today. Also, parents should also mind the rhesus factor of their children. It is very necessary. Check the rhesus factor of your children. It is very necessary. So, now how does rhesus factor that I have one protein on my blood cell, or I don't have one protein on my blood cell, how does it concern me when it comes to childbirth? It has a lot to do when it comes to childbirth. So, for mothers that also have teenagers, you need to know the rhesus factor of your children. You need to educate your children about rhesus factor, because this has affected a lot of people. When teenagers get pregnant and they decide to terminate it, at the long run, when they get married and they want to start having children, it may become an issue. Why? Because anybody that is rhesus negative, when a woman is rhesus negative, your first pregnancy is not a problem. You don't have, your body has not built antibodies. Okay? If you carry your first pregnancy, you will carry it to term and deliver. Now, after your first delivery or your first abortion, whichever one it is, let's say this is your first pregnancy and you decide to terminate it. Now, or you carry it and you deliver, whichever it is, you deliver it or you abort it. But once you have done something like this, you've had that pregnancy, after the delivery or the abortion, your body builds antibodies to protect you. You know, when somebody has a wound, it's, you know, like you have a wound and your body builds these antibodies to protect you from the wound. Okay. Then, as time goes on, you get married and you want to start having children, or after your first pregnancy, you want to have another child. You take in. Now, like I said, more people are rhesus positive. There are few people that are rhesus negative. So when you are rhesus negative, you need to be mindful because the likelihood that you will marry somebody that is also rhesus negative is low. It is more likely that you will marry somebody that is rhesus positive. It is more likely. Now, if you marry somebody that is rhesus positive, chances are that you can have rhesus positive children and you can have rhesus negative children, because you are rhesus negative and your partner is rhesus positive. So chances are you can have rhesus positive children or you can have rhesus negative children. Now, if you get pregnant and the child you are carrying is rhesus positive, okay, normally blood passes from the placenta from the child. The child and the mother share blood, and blood can pass from the placenta to the mom. The blood can pass from the mom to the baby. Now, when blood passes from the child through the placenta to the mom, and this blood is a rhesus positive blood, now what happens? The antibodies in the woman's system, those antibodies that has been built by the woman's body system, sees the rhesus positive blood as a threat. Is a foreign body, is something that is not part of this body, because this body is totally rhesus negative. So this protein now that is coming from the baby's blood is a foreign body. So what does it do? The antibodies begin to fight. Now the antibodies begin to fight this and they look for the source of this protein and they fight it. That is when you see that a woman had a first child and then miscarriage, one miscarriage to the other, one miscarriage to the other, from one miscarriage, everyday miscarriage. Check that woman's rhesus factor and check the husband's rhesus factor. It might be the cause. And a lot of people don't know about this. They keep going from one church to the other, keep accusing their mother-in-law or their neighbors, So these are things, I don't know why. Hospitals don't explain this. I am rhesus negative. And when I was pregnant with my son, I went to the hospital. They did a test for me and gave me a positive result. I think it was my daughter. It was my first pregnancy. They gave me a positive result. At first, I was so happy, like, wow, so that's my former result was wrong. But on a second thought, I went to meet the doctor because I know about this. It's something I know about already. If not, I wouldn't even have, it's just something they wrote, I wouldn't even have known what they wrote or, So I went to meet the doctor. I said, I know that I am rhesus negative, but I don't know why I'm seeing this in my, in this. The doctor ordered me to go back to take another test. I took the test and they apologized. So it is, I don't know why hospitals are the ones that are supposed to be checking pregnant women and advising them on what to do. I don't know why they don't do that. I don't just know why. They allow a lot of women to go suffer a lot. I don't know why. This is a message, is a message that needs to go round. It's something that needs to be talked about as much as we talk about blood group. This is something that also needs to be talked about. Parents need to educate their children. The churches that conduct marriage classes need to talk about this. The hospitals that do antenatal, they need to talk about this. Unfortunately, they don't. So as I was saying, the antibodies now attack this fetus as a foreign body and they destroy it. That is when you see the woman having miscarriage or stillbirth. And that is how it continues. And that is how it continues. I don't know if it has a remedy. I don't know. Meanwhile, if somebody has this knowledge already and you're rhesus negative married to a rhesus positive partner, or you're rhesus positive married to a rhesus negative partner, and you know about this already, then is about being rhesus negative, a rhesus negative woman, and you know about this already. So after your first delivery, after practically every delivery, yes, most importantly, that first one, when your body is going to form those antibodies. So after your first delivery, you're supposed to take a medication. There is an injection you're supposed to take to protect yourself. It kind of builds that antibody. It kind of builds that this thing in you, that foreign body, that's protein in you, in your own system now, so that when you get pregnant and you're having a positive child, your system is already familiarized with this, and it wouldn't see it as a threat. It wouldn't go to fight it. That's the work of that drug. So if you check yourself and you're rhesus negative, you need to know about this. And anytime you get pregnant, you go discuss it with your doctor and talk about the medication. So once, I think it's either 72 hours after you give birth, they will give you that injection, so that in your subsequent pregnancies it will not affect you. So please, if this message is if you gained something from this message, if you think is educative enough, please help me like and press the share button so that others, in fact, please help me share this message. It's very important, so that somebody somewhere must be saved. Somebody somewhere must get something from this message. Please. Thank you. Bye. See you next time.